One thing that leaders need to understand is an appreciation of power and the influence power has on their capacity as a leader to make things happen. Having an appreciation of the power they have themselves, and if they're the chairman of the committee, if they have a title, if they have a certain level of knowledge which brings power. Knowledge is power. But understanding the role power plays. Also in terms of assessing, the challenges a leader has to bring about change. Where are the power points you're going to have to identify and work with and bring to your side to get things done? Who is it that's going to be key for you to be successful? And understand and appreciate those power points that can make a real difference, as well as understanding and appreciation where somebody of power is going to be opposed, and how strategically you can work around or successfully over and by that opposition. There are many sources of power. Power comes with the title you have, the position you hold, the knowledge you have, the capacity you have to, the charisma, the capacity to inspire people, followers who really are excited about the leader or your capacity to bring change makes a huge difference. That gives you an added advantage in making things happen. So a variety of sources of power that can make a difference for a leader. One of the things in terms of a discussion of power that's really important for anyone involved in a leadership capacity is to have the support of your superior. And beyond just the fact that they're in the chain of command above you, but they really respect and are going to back you within reason, assuming you're doing a good job. Because your capacity to lead is impacted by how the followers feel the respect you have or don't have of your superior. I know in my own experience, for an example, huge difference when I was the Archivist of the United States, when I had a president who appointed and backed me versus over time a succeeding president who lost interest in my continuing. You could feel the change within the organization once I started to lose the total support of my superior. Having that support makes a difference. And I even advise students, as you go out into the real world and you have some options, one factor you ought to consider is don't work for somebody that you don't have confidence is really going to give you a chance to succeed, back you, be supportive, because your capacity to be effective and get the job done is heavily dependent upon how the followers, how your workers, how your teammates look at the support you have or don't have from the person above you. Another aspect of power that leaders need to keep in mind when you're in a position to kind of select your team, identify members who are going to be on your committee that you've been asked to chair, whatever your leadership opportunity is, keep in mind from a power point of view that you add members to the team who can bring sources of power to the team. You're leading an effort, say, to raise money for a church to build a new building. Have people on your team, not just who understand, although that is a plus of the challenges you face, but fundraising, for an example, to pull off the project. You want to have people who have who are thought of as leaders with power, who can reach other people, who can help you get the job done. So it isn't just a matter of putting an enthusiastic group together who really supports it, obviously important as well, but that the players you select bring a power component, knowledge or access to resources, who are thought of as leaders who bring power to another segment of the community or the church that'll make a difference in ultimately succeeding with that project. Famous quote on power that I've used, and I think to put a little balance, because power has the potential to be negative as well as positive. Lord Acton, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. There's a lot of truth to that, and one has to be aware of the downside, the negative that can come from people who take advantage of their position for a negative rather than a positive opportunity. And there are plenty of examples of leaders in a position too long, and that growing power base has led to opportunities to take a direction inappropriate with the vision of, or in some cases actually the law. You look at a lot of institutions that have had too much power. Power went to their heads, gave them a sense that they were invincible, and pretty soon they're crossing the line. So when we talk about power and its positive and the role it can play in a significant way, positive way to bring about change, we also have to be mindful that what Lord Acton said is true. It can lead to corruption, and therefore having checks and balances, pausing every so often and saying, are we following the values that we set up at the beginning, or are we strayed from those values because we were tempted to abuse our position of power?